We are live and taking your calls today, day one, in the Martin MacNeill facelift murder trial. Straight out to Gene Casares on the scene at the Provo Courthouse. Gene, what's happening in court? Trying their best to strike a jury, right?
Prospective jurors from all over Utah County have come today for jury selection. And because this case is so high profile, the judge has had individual questioning with jurors in his chambers with the parties all day. We were able to get the prospective jury questionnaire. There are sensitive questions on this. How do you feel about someone that cheats on their spouse? What if that is the defendant? And have you ever had a facelift? Those are some of the questions.
Okay, wait. Back it up. So they're asking jurors, how do you feel about adulterers and cheaters? And have you ever had a facelift? I mean, do they really think all the cheaters are going to go? I mean, what do they expect? Are they going to get real, honest answers out of these questionnaires?
And maybe that's why they're questioning them in chambers, to try to see what they wrote and dig beneath the layer to try to get the truth, to see if there is bias, so they can't be fair to one side or the other.
All right, well, you know what? That sounds like a lot of questioning created by the defense. All right? Number one, nobody's going to answer whether they've had a facelift in a court document. And number two, you think the cheaters are really going to fess up in court? Interesting what you just said. Unleash Your Lawyers, talking about individual questioning. With me, Eleanor Odom, death penalty qualified prosecutor, joining me. Also joining me tonight out of the Atlanta jurisdiction, Peter Odom is with us. Eleanor, very often I would have individual questioning in the judge's chambers, and that is when I had questions that were so sensitive, such as in a general question, if a juror had answered that they or someone they knew had been, for instance, molested as a child, or some extremely, or some mental health issue they wanted to talk about, naturally, without even telling the rest of the jury pool, you would take that juror for individual questioning. Or if it's a sensitive question for all the jurors, then all get questioned individually. But apparently, Eleanor, all of these jurors are being questioned individually. Why?
I know. Well, that's to make sure that they're going to have a fair and impartial jury from the very get-go that eliminates any potential defense, defenses saying, oh, we couldn't get a fair jury. So I think that's a smart move by the judge.
You know what? I think you're right. Peter, before you became a defense lawyer, you were a prosecutor.
Right.
And wouldn't you agree that this is the best strategy to avoid an adverse reaction or a complaint by the defense later on? Take the time at the get-go in jury selection.
Exactly. What they're trying to avoid, Nancy, is the so-called slop-over effect, where questioning one jury, if they did it in the room with all the other jurors and something prejudicial were to come out, if it were done with everybody there, it would slop over onto the other jurers. The judge is being
I've never heard
careful.
it put that way. It would slop over onto the other jurors, but I get your drift.